Oh, hello class. My name is Bernardo, and today what I'll be discussing with you is waste reduction. Now, me personally, I am a frequent customer at Amazon.com. Also, like to go out eat at fast food places all the time. So, what comes with me being a consumer of those type of industries is with Amazon, I collect a lot of cardboard boxes and packaging, all sorts of stuff like that. And also, I take out the trash every day. And I would say about day three, my recycling bin is full to the brim, which would cause me to hop in the bin and smash everything down. And it got me thinking, how can I keep the amount of waste that goes into my recycling bin to prevent me from hopping in there and smashing everything down? And then, furthermore, what happens to that waste once it leaves my house? And that's how this topic for my persuasive speech came up. Now, in this presentation, what I'll be discussing is what is waste reduction, what happens to waste and how does it affect the environment, what is a landfill, what goes on over there, and the benefits and the economic impact of reducing waste. And so for my first main point, I'll be discussing what waste reduction is. Thanks. What is waste reduction? Waste reduction or waste prevention is the preferred approach to waste management because waste that never gets created doesn't have waste management costs. So an example of that is California. Recently, they just passed a ban on straws. By 2019, sit-down restaurants will not be serving your drinks with a straw unless requested upon by the customer. So that's one method that California is using to help reduce waste. I have a friend that also lives in Hawaii. He carries around a glass jar anytime he is going to go out to get a drink. So he'll use the drink to, or the glass cup to get his drink from. So some of the specific material types that gets wasted is textiles. More than 1.24 million tons of textiles get disposed in California landfills in 2014. Now, that's a lot. Other type of materials are reusable transport packaging, such as disposable wood pallets, cardboard boxes, and plastic film is some of the major waste that gets wasted by businesses on a day-to-day basis. So we covered packaging, and another thing is paper. Paper is probably one of the easiest things to reduce by doing homework assignments or anything like that. You can print both on both sides of the paper and automatically you're reducing your amount of printouts by 50%. Now, the next point that I'll be covering is what happens to waste and effects on the environment. Thanks. Right. What happens to waste and how does it affect the environment? More than half of America's waste is bound for a landfill, according to the National Solid Waste Management Association. Today's modern landfill is basically tightly packed mounds of waste that are sealed under a rubber and clay and over a thin liner that prevents liquid from seeping out. But liquid does seep out, and with that liquid in a modern household, garbage is called leachate, which is contaminated fluid that just trickles out from the body of the landfill. Now, that drained leachate is gathered and treated as wastewater, and in 2008, 276 million gallons, and that's 1 billion liters, of leachate were collected in New York, according to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Now, landfills are not designed to break down waste, but to store it. And basically, when storing it on top of layers and layers, the compost does eventually decompose. Now, that decomposition in between those layers is a lack of oxygen, and that creates a bacteria which produces methane gas. Now, that methane gas directly contributes to global warming. So, that global warming, to prevent that, what some landfills do is that they either vent out that methane gas, or some landfills will collect it and use it, sell it, and burn it as a source of energy. Now, my next main point is the benefits and the economic impact of reducing waste. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, recycling is the process of collecting and processing materials that would otherwise be thrown away as trash and turn them into new products. So, what the benefit of recycling is that it reduces the amount of waste sent to landfills and incinerators. It also conserves natural resources such as timber, water, and minerals. And it also prevents pollution by reducing the need to collect new raw material. Also, reducing waste and recycling saves energy, and it supports the American manufacturing and conserves valuable resources, which America is surely running out of. Now, finally, recycling also creates jobs. The EPA released a significant finding within the recycling industry, that a study conducted by the National Recycling Economic Information, or REI, in 2016, that in 1 year of recycling and reusing activities in the US, 750,000 jobs were created, and also $36.6 billion in wages and $6.7 billion in tax revenues were generated through recycling. Now, that equates to 1.57 jobs, 76,000 in wages, and $14,101 in tax revenue for every 1,000 tons of materials recycled. Now, I don't know about you, but those numbers sound good to me. Now, finally, the conclusion of my presentation. In my presentation, I covered what is waste reduction and what happens to waste when it gets sent to the landfill, and that methane gas, and how it attributes to global warming, the benefits of reducing waste and conserving natural resources, and also the economic impact by creating jobs and generating a lot of revenue. So with that, join me on the green side and reduce, recycle, and reuse, and close the loop. Thank you.